a multi-fight deal with GBM Sports. Now, you speak to any fighter and they tell you having a plan, a long-term plan with the promoter makes the world of difference. So yourself and Hughie must be over the line to put that to paper.
Yeah, I'm over the moon. Is he somebody I trust, along with Mick Hennessy, who's Hughie's manager? And listen, between Mick Hennessy and Izzy, they'll sort Hughie's fights out. And for me, I'm just interested in one thing: getting him ready. Yeah. So that's it. I don't want to know boxing, politics. I'm not interested. I'm going to keep out of everything. Whoever it is he says he's going to fight, he fights. That's it. Bring on the best out there, because it's either put up or shut up. And he needs to shine. He needs these type of fights. So let's get him.
One thing Hughie can never be accused of is not willing to take those big fights. We saw him jump in with some of the best heavyweights in the world when many fighters with his experience wouldn't have done so. Is that what it's about moving forward now? Obviously Hughie's had a nightmare outside of the ring. Is it just about the biggest fights will take on any and all comers?
Yeah, definitely. This is it. So he's up for the big fights, and let's see if we can get him.
Spoke to Dave Allen out there. Now he said that obviously there's rumours that the Johnny Fisher rematch is close to being agreed, but he said it wasn't far off a deal between himself to fight Hughie Fury. Was that something that was close and something you'd entertain perhaps later in the year?
Definitely. Listen, I've got a lot of respect for Dave Allen, and listen, almost we've got genuine love there for Dave Allen. But this is boxing. They're both businessmen. So if Dave wins these and Hughie has a couple of fights and wins them, what a fight that's going to be. And listen, they'd both do very well out of it. And if that can happen down the road, it'd be fantastic. And me and Dave will have a cup of tea before, and we'll have a cup of tea after. It don't matter, does it?
Dave, as we expect, sounds like going to rematch Johnny Fisher. I never actually spoke to you about that first fight. It was a very contentious decision. What do you reflect on that, and how do you see a rematch between Dave and Johnny playing out?
I think there should be a rematch there. I think Johnny Fisher's a good fighter, but I thought Dave was hard done by on that night, to be honest. So I think the rematch is there, and fair play to Johnny Fisher and his team for doing the rematch as well. It needs to happen, and may the best man win. I know both lads, and obviously I know Dave very well. I used to train Dave back in the day, and Dave's got plenty of talent as well. And I'm very happy to see Dave back. He's with Jamie Moore, who's an excellent trainer. So I think Dave's in a good place, and I'm looking forward to seeing the best of Dave anyway, because he's got it there. He's got it in his locker to do it.
Peter, while I've got you, I want to get your thoughts on the weekend's boxing. Now, I've overheard you in your interview with Gould there. You weren't able to watch the Crocker Donovan fight, so it almost feels like an unfair question, because people who were there and who've watched it back still don't really know what they make of it. But caused a lot of controversy, Marcus McDonald's decision to disqualify Paddy. From what you've seen, is there any sort of analysis you take from it? Was it harsh, or
What I know of Marcus McDonald, he's a man that takes no messing. So if he's give a couple of warnings and he's deducted points, and it's happened again, and it's a serious shot as well, I can see where he's coming from. But it's a bittersweet pill, isn't it? Because Donovan, from all the reports I'm seeing, he was winning the fight. So to be winning the fight and then being disqualified, that you're a loser. So would the fouls be intentional? No. Just heated in the moment. You can't say Donovan's throw that, was it a right hook he hit him with? And it was like after the bell and he knew different. No, he didn't. He's in the moment. These young athletes, they put their lives on the line. So, but the referee's there, and he's there to uphold the law, he's there to uphold the system. So Marcus McDonald's a very good referee, and I'm sure he done what he had to do, but it's a bittersweet pill actually. If there'd have been any other way around it would have been better than that. But listen, he's going to get the rematch, and the rematch has to happen. So they can put all the wrongs right in that one.
I think most of what I've seen from people sort of echoes what you say. You feel sorry for Paddy, but at the same time, sort of Marcus McDonald's hands were sort of tied in a sense.
Listen, the rules are the rules, no matter how much we don't like them, and how much unintentional they are. But I can understand the frustration though, and I can see how disappointed he will be, because when you're winning something and it's a big fight and there's rivalry there, and to lose it in that fashion is devastation, isn't it? Yeah. That's the last thing you want for any fighter.
Yeah. Refereeing was a topic that was hotly discussed over stateside as well. Now, Gervonta Davis, Lamont Roach was certainly past my bedtime. I don't know about yours, but the clip of Tank taking the knee and a knockdown not be awarded, he was given time to go over to his corner to brush grease off his hair, I think. Now, that's all I was able to see, but people in boxing are saying, how can a fighter take a knee and a knockdown not be scored? Have you ever seen that before?
never, and that shouldn't have happened. So again, it depends who they've got. There's mistakes get made, don't they? In boxing, you can be world title fights. Mistakes get made, and what's that old saying? Everybody's human.
Yeah.
You've seen robberies happen in boxing. You've seen all sorts, haven't you? This is the boxing game. Sometimes it can be unfair, but unintentionally unfair. You just got to roll with it, haven't you? Sometimes it's your night, sometimes it's not.
Yeah. Just last thing, I want to get your thoughts on Peter now. I know I've seen you speak in various interviews that this fight between Chris Eubank Jr and Conor Benn isn't necessarily your cup of tea. I mean, there's no real ramifications for any sort of world title shot, but what did you make of the whole press tour last week? We saw the egg slap, we saw Eddie Hearn and Ben Shalom going back and forth, we saw Eubank doing his usual stick. Did that get you excited at all for it?
I think there's genuine rivalry there, and there's genuine hatred between them. So that anybody would be up for that fight. I'm excited to see that fight. I think the egg thing is why not? It's all good. What's an egg? I'm sure Ben's little girl's been hit harder than that. So it doesn't matter. It's just I think it's all good ingredients. Listen, it's got people talking about it. It sells the fight. Why not? It's innocent promotion. That's what I'm looking at.
Yeah. Last thing on that fight, and last thing before I do let you go, how much of an impact do you think this reported £9.5 rehydration clause will have on Chris Eubank Jr? Given the stage he's at in his career, he's looked quite tight on the scales at middleweight in the past. Do you think that makes Conor Benn a more live fighter in this fight than he would have been had that clause not been in place?
I don't think it's really going to matter, because when he has the weigh-in at middle, he's then can put £10 back on the next morning. And after that, so he's got a good 48 hours of putting that weight back on. And middleweight, I don't think it's going to trouble Eubanks that much. Ben's going to be stronger for sure, because he's coming up. Yeah. He hasn't got to tax his body that much. And he'll train very hard because he's got the fuel to do it. So he's got the advantage coming up. But I think it evens itself out. I think it's a fair playing field. I'm really looking forward to seeing this fight.
Actually, I know I said last one, but I've got to ask Savannah Marshall. Now, there was talk she would be on this all-women's show this coming weekend. She was down at the press conference, then it seemed she wasn't on it. She wasn't very happy. Any news on a potential fight date or what's next for Savannah?
She has got something bubbling, which is pretty big. Boxer, Hennessy Sports, they're trying to negotiate a big fight for her in the next coming few months. She's in the gym tomorrow. She's been on holiday, had a break, because now that fight wasn't happening. So she's back in the gym. So big, be a big world title fight coming up for Savannah again.
Should AC agreed, maybe?
Maybe.
Peter Fury, thanks very much. Cheers, Peter. Thanks for the time. Really grateful. Thanks, mate.